Okay, Thanksgiving is upon us. You didn't think I was just going to ignore that the entire time. So I know maybe you're stressing right now. What if I screw everything up tomorrow? That's why we need the chef in here to educate us on all things Thanksgiving. Joining me now, my friend Chef Andrew Gruel, owner of the Calico Fish House. Okay, Chef, as you well know, I am not a turkey man. I don't eat dried out meat, but I know you know how to cook it, and many people watching are going to be making it tomorrow. So I will give the floor to you. Help these disgusting turkey lovers make the perfect bird tomorrow.
I will say I'm with you on the turkey, by the way. The best way to cook a turkey is to braise a pork butt. That is the best way to do it right now. So two things I'll say. If you're going to cook the turkey, you got to spatchcock the turkey. I repeat, spatchcock the turkey. That's where you cut. Bingo, there it is. How'd you guys find that? My gosh, you're like internet sleuths. You split it down the center, you push it down. You're going to get the best breasts that way because they're going to cook at the same time as the legs. If you think about it, right, the heat comes from the outside in. So when your legs go up to 160 degrees, your breast is only at like 100, 150, 155. They cook evenly. Salt your bird. You got to salt it now. Right now's the time. After you watch this clip, or actually after everybody listens to the entirety of your show, go take that bird, throw it on a sheet pan, salt the hell out of it, throw it in a refrigerator, uncovered, because you want it to get dried out on the exterior so you get a better, crispier exterior. And then that salt's going to work in and out of the bird. It's going to basically help the bird retain moisture. But the other piece is go get a pork butt, go get a chuck roll, go get any one of those big fat cuts of meat that you braise, that you throw in the crock pot or you throw on the back of the stove and braise for hours, because the juice from that's going to actually make a better gravy, so you can add it to your gravy. In addition, having that like meltingly tender, collagen-rich braised meat to mix into all the other horrible Thanksgiving sides is going to take things from like a 5 to a 7.
All right, we're going to get to the sides in a moment because I wanted to talk to you about that. Where do you stand, Chef, on the injecting the turkey, the butter? I have a friend who just slabs butter under the skin and mixes all kind of things in it. As I said, this is not my area, but it's very much yours. Help people out here.
Injecting a turkey does nothing because the moisture just comes right out when you cut into it. So imagine it's just like sitting there in this water pocket, and then you cut it and then it just runs right out. You might as well just pour stock on your bird as you're eating it. It's a better way to do it. And then putting butter doesn't do anything because all of that fat actually melts off the bird and just goes into the bottom of your pan, so you're wasting money. I'm telling you, the only thing that works is pre-salting your bird. Salt is the only chemical that can go inside the bird and outside the bird. Marinades don't go in the bird because the fat isn't penetrable. Flavonoids, which is the chemical version of all those spices, those don't go in the bird. They only flavor the outside of the bird. So you can rub it down with the spices and the herbs, but the fat isn't going to do anything but run off the bird.
All right. Now, sides. Everybody knows you have the green bean casserole, and there are good sides. I admit that. Where are you at on Thanksgiving sides? Help people out who are scrambling tonight. They have to bring a side tomorrow. They're figuring out the stuffing. What do they do?
Well, the sides are always the secondary thought, right? So people make them the day before and then they throw them in the oven before they eat them, so they're dried out, they're overcooked. The key with sides is that if you are making them today, undercook it a little bit, understanding that you're going to need to bring it up to temp. Make sure you got fat in there, right? So bacon, butter, cream sauces. I love bacon and caramelized onions in absolutely everything. And then before you reheat it the next day, throw your stock in there to make sure that you moisten it up again. I keep saying moist and spatchcock. This is getting weird. But also on the sides, cheese, a lot of Parmesan, right? Parmesan is umami. So you want to top it with that fresh Parmesan either at the end or before you rebake it to get a little bit of that melt factor on there. The other piece of this on the sides is that make sure that you're seasoning it heavily throughout. And if you put interior garnish in there, like ham or braised meats or bacon, which I think you should, make sure it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, because nobody likes searching around the string beans for one little piece of bacon or one crispy onion. So it's all about that interior garnish ratio. It needs to be 1-to-1, not 500-to-1.
Chef, everyone knows I'm a sauce man. You are not only a sauce man, the Calico Fish House has just mouth-watering sauces. But I'm not at the Calico Fish House tomorrow. I'm at my neighbor's house, and I've got what I've got. Maybe I can stop by the store. Is there a money sauce I can whip up really quick that an idiot like me can do really quick that's going to bring something to life if I just start dipping stuff in it?
Yeah, I love it. Brown butter, right? So just take a whole stick of butter and actually throw it in a pan and toast it until it starts to smell nutty and it gets kind of golden brown. Pull it off the heat, throw a handful of fresh herbs in there and a squeeze of lemon and mix it up. And actually, because of those toasted milk solids, you get this incredibly rich, fatty sauce. The herbs will blend into it, and some of the seasoning, that acid will make the flavor pop. And it actually, the fat will bring out the flavor in all the foods you're eating, but those toasted milk solids are nutty. That's why they call it beurre noisette, which in French is basically toasted butter or toasted nuts. Toasted nuts. Smack you in the old beurre noisette.
How about that? All right, Chef, Thanksgiving's expensive. I know everyone's touting how much more affordable it is right now, but just food in general, in all seriousness, is very expensive. We got people paying $10 a pound for burger across the country. Is there price relief on the horizon for the consumer? That includes, obviously, restaurateurs like you who don't want to have to charge people $25 for a cheeseburger. Is there relief coming?
Yeah, there is relief coming for a couple reasons. Number one, a lot of this is speculation is what's driving up the prices. That's the crazy thing is that supply hasn't changed on the beef side. Inventory hasn't changed. But over a month, prices are going up $600 a head on the cattle just because of the mere speculation as like what's happening with the stock market. So I think as supply increases, which is projected to do so, you're going to see prices come down on the wholesale side of things. Number one, after the holidays, you also see prices come down. Generally speaking, what's driving a lot of these prices up in places like California, they're taking a national average. So it's all these blue states where they've got transportation costs through the roof, which are getting passed down to the retailers. So if we can actually see some of those prices continue to come down on transportation, we'll see a wholesale drop. But I am confident from a macroeconomic perspective, although I'm just a cook, that prices are going to come down, especially in the first quarter of 2026. So mark my words on this one.
Chef, you and your family have a happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Thank you for helping us again. Spatchcock the turkey. You know, and next time, I'm going to ask him how you do that because he makes it sound so simple. Just take the spine out of it. I've never done that before. And when I've had to mess with that disgusting bird, I've had to, do the stuffing thing. Well, whatever. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.